foreperson is normally chosen by a jury because they are potentially the least likely to speak up too much, that they're going to stay calm and keep the calm in the room. But also, quite importantly, they're the ones that delivers the verdict to the judge at the end. So they have a responsibility to make sure everyone's heard. But also to make sure that things don't get out of hand.
You work in that big building across the road from us?
Round the corner. Should we get matters going?
All right, members, if we can seat everyone by their jury number, starting to my left.
As time went on, even more challenged, potentially started off thinking or feeling, quite a sense of responsibility, but also to enjoy the process of running the room, but certainly by the end, feeling like it was too much responsibility and too challenging. There was a lot of challenges in the room. Things did get out of hand a couple of times.
You do all agree, don't you?
You are giving me a sore head. I wouldn't bank on any of us agreeing at this point.
Please. Can we have some calm? It serves no one to behave like this.
I'd like to interject.
The other jurors were of so many different types and personalities, and they clashed. But we also have an interesting scenario where you've got the difference of opinions and who's going to sway whose judgment on the situation. There were a couple of fights that got a little bit out of hand. Calling order when you're feeling a little bit scared yourself about what's going on in the room is it's quite challenging.
Could we have some order? I really don't like all this shouting.
Do you want to take over being the foreperson? I'd happily give it up right now.
No, you're doing a good job, right? I'm sorry. Right.
It was really intense. I think one of the things that most of us found about filming something chronologically and in one room, it's a very character-driven piece, and you get very invested in that character when you're playing it every day with the same people in the same room every day. And certainly I felt that the heat built, literally and metaphorically, during the 2 weeks. Clearly we've all got to try to remain very objective and to look at the facts. I watched a couple of programs before coming to play this part that one of them was a social experiment in how juries operate. So they had two separate juries with the same facts, and they came to different verdicts. And I think the point is that despite the fact that a judge will say you have to stick to the facts and not get swayed by emotions or your own experiences or how you empathise, that it's pretty impossible for a human being not to do that. And it does make me question whether or not we can ever come to a fair decision in a jury.
Look, we've gone round the table and you're still the only one holding out. Maybe it's time we heard your argument.
Being with a bunch of actors and creatives for 2 weeks and getting to be with them every day, actually, that's not something that happens all the time. It's great fun to be with that many creatives in a room. It's a little bubble that can get very intense, and yet at the same time, when you leave it, you almost don't want to leave. There are certainly a couple of characters who are more outspoken than others, but at the same time, it's a real privilege to be in a movie where everyone really gets a chance. Everyone gets a chance on camera, and everyone gets a chance to develop a bit of character and personality within their part. It's a really interesting piece, and it could be the the modern day 12 Angry Men.